time for reflection is over. I didn't know I was going to do that.
I knew it was going to do that because I know that Black Ops 7 may as well be an unfinished piece of trash that everyone should be discarding into the wind, right? Nobody should be pre-ordering this game. They claim that this game is going to be coming out with its beta in 2 weeks, but that's for the early access people who decided to pre-order the game early, even though you have no idea what the game is going to be about, and we kind of have a little bit of an idea what the game is going to be about, and it's probably going to be more of a mess than you are expecting. And before that, make sure you drop an absolute tactical nuke on the like button. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I really hope you guys come and join me as we go over this entire process of Call of Duty completely falling down the drain.
His hair, whack. His gear, whack. His jewelry, whack. His foot stance, whack. The way that he talks, whack. The way that he doesn't even like to smile, whack. Me, I'm tight as fuck.
For today's video, I really want to go over the multiplayer reveal for Black Ops 7 and just kind of analyze what they revealed for the game and just kind of really critique what they're going to be producing here, because we've seen information about the zombies, they revealed a little bit about the cinematic, and other than that, we really don't know anything about the gameplay. The campaign we haven't seen much of, and then of course they showed off a little bit of multiplayer, but of course we're not going to see all that until Call of Duty Next at the end of September, and I really hope that they have just like an inkling of an idea of how they're going to tackle this, because from what I've seen from this multiplayer trailer, which we're going to go over in just a minute, there's a lot of glaring flaws that I've already seen, and I really want to show you guys because I feel like a lot of people aren't really paying attention to this. A lot of people are just brushing the game off at this point as it's going to be bad, but I just want to show you that the game is probably going to be even worse than you're expecting. I'm just going to pause it on this one screenshot here because it's not the fact that like the overall visual is bad. There's just one glaring issue, and I want you to really pay attention to the gun that's being fired in the hands of this person here. Just take a look at this. I've gone ahead and slowed this footage down to 10% speed. Look at the back of the fucking gun and see how that little thing is clipping out of the back of the gun. How can you show a trailer showcasing all of your amazing gameplay and everything that you want to put in there, and you have small animation issues that you're showcasing to the world? This is your official multiplayer reveal or just talk or discussion that's being put out on YouTube. This is where I got the video from. I ripped it straight out of YouTube. These are common mistakes that you're throwing out there. This is the exact kind of stuff that I'm talking about, where this game is going to be completely unfinished. You might want to call it a nitpick or something that I'm just like specifically targeting, but it's not just small animation issues that are with the guns. It's death animations, it's just the guns firing themselves. Everything looks jumpy and kind of wacky looking and just looks completely unnatural. You as a consumer, you as someone who wants to buy the game, should expect more out of this. And I'm not saying that you should expect more content-wise, because that's all they want to give you. They just want to give you more stuff to do, but at the same time, they can't fix a simple animation for their trailer.
So here we go. I'm about to make myself retarded.
I mentioned before that including with all the weapon weird clipping thing, at least the example that I showed, and then just kind of like the overall jankiness of the game, there's also the fact that the death animations is also extremely awkward looking. They showed this clip, and it, doesn't seem like there's really anything wrong with it until you take a little bit of a closer look at everything that's happening. And if you look at the player character dying here, they're falling onto the ground, not touching the ground, clipping on something invisible, and then kind of slouching over the edge. And then the very next person they kill is a person sliding on the ground, pausing, still floating in the air, and then just kind of laying there mid-air slouched over. What are we looking at this point, guys? And this isn't over. This is the same clip, but it's the exact same person of them shooting the next person on the bridge, where the guy is clipping back and forth, and it looks just completely janky and weird. These are the higher standards that I'm talking about. These are the, just the small things that should be obviously fix before the game comes out, and I hope they do. But if this beta comes out in the next 2 weeks, what are we possibly going to do if you're still having clipping issues and weird animation issues that people can't really understand what's going on? And it comes down to an animation issue. Your death animations are weak looking, and you have a polished game like Battlefield 6, and although yes, that game had some ragdoll effects and stuff, but pretty much everything in the game was about as polished as you can get. And even for an open beta, there was basically no bugs, no issues, no animation issues that people could really think of. And of course, there's that Battlefield jank, but Call of Duty is held to such a high degree, and for whatever reason, the people who buy the game every year and really enjoy buying the new game just don't seem like they even fucking care.
I don't buy it!
I'm going to switch this footage over to a Black Ops 2 gameplay that I took earlier today for this recording, actually. And before, half the video ended up becoming me critiquing the multiplayer reveal, because I thought, I really haven't even paid much attention to it, just like everybody else who hasn't really paid attention to the game since the reveal. I decided that I would go ahead and play some Black Ops 2 this evening, and figured that I would have a lot better of a time playing that game than the new game, and I was correct in that opinion. The moment I booted up the game, I was able to find a team deathmatch game within half a second. Maybe there probably wasn't even a moment of thinking about what was going to happen in between. You were in a lobby, you're able to access your class with no problem, and you could just sit there and talk to the people in the lobby. It was completely social, and of course, the game started playing on standoff, and I drop an absolute destruction on the enemy team. But my point still stands, is the fact that I think Black Ops 7 is really struggling at this point. There's nobody excited for the game. Everything you see online is people just completely shitting on the game every time they make any announcement. It's always, I'm going to go play a different game, I'm not buying it. In fact, a lot of the comments say that they're going over to Battlefield 6, and at this point, how can you blame them? The game looks absolutely far better than whatever Black Ops 7 was offering. Just look at some of the trailer footage that I showed you. I've already showed you that their animations are way messed up. Clipping through the guns, death animations are all messed up, and then at this point the visuals may as well be messed up too. Actually, the visuals for the game actually didn't look half bad. I will give the guy credit that was talking about it in that trailer. The visuals for Black Ops 7 did look fairly decent, but the problem is that you have just this overall problem with the game, the fact that the game is going to feel slightly rushed. There's all this delaying. They keep delaying the zombies information. This week, in fact, was supposed to be a whole bunch of information about zombies, and they delayed it. They pushed everything back to COD Next, and they think that's going to generate any more hype. They realize that people are actually excited for zombies, and I think the only people that are going to be going over to zombies or going over to the COD Next event is to look for the zombies content. Nobody cares about the multiplayer. Nobody cares about the campaign, and unfortunately, this is the sad fact that Call of Duty has to deal with now. You've completely ruined the trust of all of your, players, and at this point, you really have to try very, very hard to get these people back into your graces. I want to conclude today's video by just going over the fact that within my comments section for the last number of videos, there's actually been some very good discussion between a lot of the people, and just kind of in general what you guys have been saying. I very much enjoy talking to you guys in the comments. I'm not the type of person to call people out through some kind of hatred-filled, fueled rage. I may yell, I may get a little, animated about stuff, and I'm animated, but that's because I care. I actually want the game to actually come out and be decent, and I want people to enjoy themselves, right? And unfortunately, I'm kind of on the side of not going to be enjoying it because I just don't trust Activision or Treyarch and any of those developers over there to actually develop a proper game. The game can play well, the game can be fun, but the problem is that they focus more on monetization, and issues just keep popping up with the game over and over. Every time Black Ops 6 was updated, it turned into a worse and worse product. It was more store bundles, the servers got worse, more bugs were created, and they just continue to make it more and more unplayable. Well, the entire time they just kind of kept focusing on their Warzone game mode, and that's all the game is now. It's a giant DLC for Warzone. Everything that you see for Black Ops 7 is just going to be ported right into Warzone, and if it's as buggy and messy as I've shown from this video today, then I think this entire year for Call of Duty might just be worse than Black Ops 6 possibly. that's all I got for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, right? This video took a lot longer to edit together, you know, just because I was going over the footage for the multiplayer reveal. But what do you guys think about what I showed today, right? Do you think that my little nitpicks of the animations are, you know, a worthy point out for them? I think they should fix that stuff, don't you? Go ahead and leave a like on the video. Make sure to leave a comment what you guys think. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye.